Hello everyone, and welcome to our video review on the roles of international organizations in today's world. This video is made in reference to a video posted by the Papua New Guinea International Studies second year students of Divine University 2023 on global economy and international organizations. Their video focused on the theory of constructivism with the sub-theory on commercial liberalism. Following that, 4 general topics were raised, and they are general agreement on tariff and trade, World Trade Organizations, economic recession, and trade wars. Here with me, I have an excellent lineup of speakers who will help us understand these topics from various perspectives. Firstly, I'd like to introduce Oshwell. Oshwell, could you please start us off by defining the theories of constructivism and commercial liberalism as mentioned in the video?
So basically, the term constructivism, according to Peebles and Goldstein, is an IR term that examines the social interaction of states and individuals' preferences. Moreover, the application of this theory can be perceived in countries' interaction with trade given in a broader sense remains an obvious example that explains how the theory's concepts are executed. Intriguingly, as stated by the second last and final speaker in the video, commercial liberalism is a subordinate theory that falls under constructivism, and it bases its emphasis on trading of goods and services without economic sanctions, in which I find the explanation to be plainly clear. Admittedly, this trade would only be successful if countries remained economically interdependent, because Griffiths, O'Callaghan, and Roach, according to the Yagiro Files 2019, signifies economic interdependence as a concept that decreases the likelihood of states going to war. But due to the fact that this world operates on an anarchic system, there has to be interventions by a subordinate body at some point to liberalize trade, which the GATT remains a responsible organization that facilitates trading in the international arena. And I will hand it over to Greg to elaborate further on the organization's background. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Oswell. I think the person gave a good definition on the general arguments on tariffs and trade. However, the definition taken was not from a credible source. According to Pebhouse and Goldstein 2017, GATT is a world organization established in 1947 purposely to facilitate free trade on a multilateral basis. In addition, the speaker also failed to mention any significant events that involved GATT or never stated any achievements of GATT. Since the establishment of GATT in 1947, it has played a vital role in facilitating international trade among member nations. One of GATT's main achievements was reducing high tariffs. According to Majeski 2024, he noted that there were 8 rounds of trade negotiation conferences between 1947 and 1994. Some of these outcomes of negotiations included reducing high tax concessions and tax levels as much as 25%. However, in 1994, the GATT was absorbed and had its name changed to World Trade Organization. Thank you. I will now ask Samantha to give us a further insight into the World Trade Organization.
Thank you, Greg. I think WTO was introduced well, with the third speaker highlighting the functions of WTO. However, I noticed that the primary goal of WTO wasn't mentioned in there, and 3 other functions weren't mentioned in the video. According to World Trade Organization No Date, the goal of WTO is to improve the welfare of the WTO members. The WTO basically has 6 functions. I will run through the other 3 functions that weren't mentioned in the video. The 4th function is reviewing national trade policies of its members, building the trade capacity of developing economies, and finally cooperating with other international organizations. In addition, a fact about the composition of WTO is that over 3/4 of WTO members are developing or least developed economies. In reference to the video, like what was mentioned in the video, the number of WTO members still remains as 164 members. However, I think that it will increase because of the fact that currently WTO has 25 countries with observer status, still negotiating to be part of WTO. In regards to the example provided in the video, the examples are clear and easy to follow through. The only critique that I'd give is that the video failed to mention the reason to why WTO wasn't able to resolve the trade war between Vanuatu and Fiji, as it was supposed to. Now I will let Fidelis further discuss on the global economic recession.
Thank you. As stated in the video, commercial liberalism argued that economic interdependency will decrease the likelihood of states going to war. Hence, economic interdependency disadvantage is global recession. For instance, when it occurred in 2008 in USA, there was an economic downturn. Because of that, Other nations have been affected also due to US as one of the largest economy in the world and has many trading partners linking each other. Stated that Yabon 2014, since PNG is a small and open economy and very dependent on international trade, it has become increasingly vulnerable to external shocks. Due to that, it does affect our country mainly through our trading sector. A clear example of the global recession I will give is the poor harvest of cocoa in West Africa several months ago, which also have a big impact on worldwide chocolate prices and most of all, the cocoa price. According to the National 2024, these shortages occur primarily due to factors such as bad weather, diseases, and deforestation affecting cocoa yield in major producing regions like West Africa. While the higher prices are beneficial for countries such as PNG cocoa growers. Reported by Westpac Bank of PNG, cocoa prices in the country are expected to remain elevated throughout this year, about 3 times higher than the expected price before. Therefore, as we can see, global economic recession may be bad for other countries, but also beneficial for other countries as well. Thank you, and now I will leave it to Ellie.
Thank you. So before I touch on the video, I would like to share my understanding on what is trade war. So trade war is a conflict between two countries expressed through the means of trade, such as when country A imposes high tariffs on imported products of country B. In such situations, a trade war may arise and it has a lot of effects on the global economy, such as distribution of trade flows, increasing costs, and creating distrust among countries, which may not only affect multinational companies and business houses, but also the citizens of both countries. So in reference to the video, the second speaker gave us a simple yet concise definition supported with 2 accurate examples on trade war, using situations of economic factor and strategic concerns between countries, which I very much agree with. Additionally, at the end of his speech, he mentioned, and I quote, "Trade wars has a lot of meaning which is defined by certain situations." This is a very clear conclusion to bring all these ideas together, before leaving his fellow colleague to connect his speech. However, it did not clearly state the effect in which trade wars have on the global economy. Thus, I have taken heed to mention at the beginning of my speech.
To conclude, this video review talked about how different theories and international organizations help shape the global economy and also help us to gain a deeper understanding of how international organizations and economic theories work together to influence the global trade dynamics affecting countries in different ways. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope you found this discussion interesting and informative.